Good morning, all. Very rainy weekend, but I was busy and I enjoy the rain. I enjoy the rain because I'm always thinking of how it's feeding my plants and everything else. Um, this morning I went to my Taekwondo Wing Chun training very early in the morning, and it's fascinating for me doing that practice because it's so much about being present, using the three tenets of bearing, of not knowing, bearing witness, and action. Just the three tenets that my teacher has put in as a part of the Zen Peacemakers is pretty much at play in there. By the way, if some of you have not gone to our website, you should. It's Zen Peacemakers with an S.org. Please visit us in there. This morning I want to talk a little bit about something that happened this morning because my instructor asked me if I could give him some advice, and the advice that he wanted was that he knows somebody who is very troubled because he has suspicions of a dear friend of his that tends to habitually lie. And some of the lies are like real lies, and some of the lies are like white lies, or what we call white lies, like kind of not damaging, but changing the truth a little bit. And that has caused him to kind of almost rethink his friendship, although he really has had a long, many years, 30 years of a friendship with this person. And basically what I said to him was that sometimes we got to take a look at how we react to other people's behavior or how other people say things, and we get very upset. And what I said to him was that sometimes we got to look at why we're getting upset, not necessarily why that person is doing what they're doing, because sometimes it's very reflective of who we are. So I told him a couple of stories. I told him a story about how I was doing a Tai Chi class in Omega 30 years ago, and it was one of these things where you have a partner and you put your right foot against their right foot, and you put your hand and you close your eyes and you do circles like this. And the first person that I got, for about 3 minutes or something, went very, very smoothly. It was like was 70. The circle was beautiful. And then he said, change partners, and we changed partners. And then when I changed partners, I felt that the person was kind of pushing me. And I kind of tried to lighten up, but I kept getting pushed by the hand. And the instructor from the front, and there was probably 15, 20 people doing this exercise, said, if you feel that your partner is pushing you, you are the problem. And as soon as the instructor said that, the pushing stopped. And I remember that 30 years ago. And what I thought about was that probably the person that I was partnering was thinking that I was pushing them. And I was thinking they were pushing me. But the moment that the instructor says, if you think your partner is pushing you, you are the problem, we kind of both took responsibility and the pushing stopped, and it became very beautiful. So I have that as a teaching, that sometimes if you think that somebody's lying or somebody's telling white lies, sometimes you can be the problem. And you got to take a look at that. The other thing is that apparently this has been happening for many years, this thought that he's had about this person. And I also gave him the story about that all of you who listen to Zen teachings is of the two monks that are traveling together, and they come to an overflown riverbank, and monks at that point were not supposed to touch women at all, not even look at them. But when they came to the bank, there was a woman that was trying to cross the river, and she could not. She was too little. So one of the monks went over and talked to her, picked her up, and took her across the river. And and put it down. And then the two monks continued the whole day traveling. They traveled miles and miles and miles. When it came down to bedding down and sleeping, the other monk said, I don't understand you. You know our vows. We're not supposed to touch women. And you picked up that woman and you took her across the river. The other monk said, I picked up that woman and I took her across the overflown river. I put her down. But apparently you have been carrying her all day long. And so sometimes we are like the second monk. We carry stuff in our minds, in our thoughts, when all we have to do is put it down and let it go. And so think about that. Think about how that affects your daily life, how it affects your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Because once you get a hold of the fact that sometimes you are the problem. Yes, I am the problem. Yes, Paco, you are the problem. And sometimes looking at things that I carry from day to day when I should just leave it I pick it up, I put it in the other bank and just go on with my life. So some of us replay those films over and over again. So let me know some feedback on what I just said. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you. Be well.